Hey, welcome to Plants Are My Therapy, but today we're not talking about plants. Today I wanted to talk about my experience as a healthcare professional, and I've been working at one of Hawaii's largest medical centers for the past 25 years. I first heard of this strange new respiratory disease that was coming out of Wuhan, China in early January. At the time, I was tracing the Ebola virus that had made its way out of the Congo to 3 major cities in North Africa, which was just a skip away from Europe, the Middle East, and the rest of the world. I do not rely on mainstream news. Do not rely on mainstream news to get medical information. I rely on information provided by the CDC, Stanford University, Johns Hopkins University, and other doctors who are currently working with patients. First off, it is very important for you to maintain a healthy immune system. Try to eat healthy foods, try to get a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables, take a multivitamin, especially vitamin C and vitamin D. In the early part of this year, when everything started to get bad, Johns Hopkins University had success with using IV vitamin C as one of the treatments. The Tillman study done by Trinity University in Ireland showed a direct correlation between a healthy immune system and vitamin D. Vitamin D is also produced by the body as a result from exposure to sunlight, and this may be the reason why darker ethnicities have suffered greater mortalities. It is harmless to take a multivitamin daily to maintain a healthy immune system prior to being exposed to a possible virus. I'm taking a multivitamin daily, and if ever exposed to the virus, I'm going to take an extra dose of vitamin C and vitamin D as I consult with my doctor. Get enough sleep, get enough rest. This is very important. Unfortunately, we live in a world where our medical care is heavily dictated by insurance companies. They will not pay for anything they don't have to pay for, so they play the numbers games. Approximately 80% of people infected will not need hospitalization, and out of the 20% that go to the hospital, only about 5% end up in the ICU, and then there's a 2% mortality. So what I've noticed that's been happening is that when people test positive, they're not required to go to the hospital. Earlier this year, when people tested positive, they were sent home on isolation with a pack of medicines: hydrochloroquine, zinc, and azithromycin. Hydrochloroquine changed the permeability of cell membranes so zinc can get into the cells. So if a virus attaches itself to that cell, zinc will attach itself to the virus, preventing the virus from multiplying, giving the body's immune system time to respond and to a lesser amount of virus. Now if someone tests positive, they will be sent home with cough syrup until they're sick enough that requires hospitalization. This could take 5 to 14 days. And when you get to the hospital, it doesn't mean that you're safe. It just means that you got sick enough that requires hospitalization. There is an established treatment, but you can still make that 2% mortality. I may make a video talking about what to do when you get admitted to the hospital, but for now I want to focus on prevention. Your first priority is to maintain a healthy immune system by getting the right foods, getting enough rest. But if you test positive, don't just wait until you're sick enough to go to the hospital. Try to take measures. Take extra vitamin D, vitamin C. Ask your doctors what else you could do. I like garlic, so I will eat extra garlic. Garlic cannot prevent any infection, but it makes your body a hostile environment if a virus or a pathogen should get inside. It makes it difficult for the virus or pathogen to multiply. A virus is actually a very small microorganism. It's barely an organism. It's not an organism. It's just a strand or a partial strand of DNA or RNA wrapped in cytoplasmic envelope. So it's very susceptible to temperature, humidity, UV rays. There are only 2 basic ways that organisms or life can survive. They could be like mammals, where we take care of our young and raise them until they can take care of themselves, or they can be like viruses or plants, where they just make so many seeds or spores or replicas of themselves in the hopes that enough will find a hospitable environment to survive and thrive. Do not make yourself a suitable environment for these viruses to survive. Referring back to the Spanish flu of 1918, man did not stop this pandemic. Nature did. Believe it or not, the virus does not want to kill the host. The virus needs the host to survive. So the virus will try to mutate into a non-lethal variant so the host can survive, so it can continue this relationship. This relationship is not beneficial to humans. So if you test positive and your doctor only gives you cough syrup, take steps in the next 5 to 14 days. Take extra vitamin C, vitamin D, and ask your doctor if there's anything else you can do. Get lots of sleep. Get as much sleep as you need, and take a lot of hot showers, as hot as you can stand. Referring back to the Spanish flu of 1918, this was years before antibiotics became popular. Doctors used to do what is called a hydro bath or a hydrothermal bath, where they would submerge a patient into a hot bath to raise his temperature to kill the virus. Another interesting thing is that they used to infect these patients with the Spanish flu with malaria. The malaria would give the patient this high temperature, and after a certain amount of time, after they felt that the virus has been killed, they would be given hydrochloroquine to kill the malaria. So to sum up, if you test positive, take multivitamins, ask your doctor if there's anything else you can do. Get a lot of sleep, get a lot of rest, and take a lot of hot showers. The goal is to keep your viral count low so your immune system has to respond against a lesser amount of virus. The goal is not to become sick enough where you require hospitalization. And furthermore, if you test positive, consult your doctor. Just don't do nothing. This is just my opinions of what I would do if I test positive, and this is what I tell my friends. This has been a heck of a year. Thank you for watching this video. Take care.